My role is to help coordinate engagement events that will create positive interactions between police and residents in the community. The three, I think, main goals are to just create more events, more community engagement time out in the community for officers, and then also humanize officers through that. And I think the third would be being more transparent so that our residents understand what we do here and kind of get some information about what goes on. Community outreach is a huge part and just essential to public safety. That trust, mutual trust between residents and officers, I think is really important to be effective in policing now, that it's kind of expected as part of a police department to be working on balancing out that sometimes negative response enforcement type reactions to having those positive interactions with the people that we serve.
In our community outreach division, we have two people, a sworn and a civilian, so I'm the sworn component of that. There's so much misconception out there about what we do, and well, why I saw in cops, well, that's not really accurate. We don't do the CSI thing, and I think some people believe that because that's all they know. And so when you're sitting somewhere having coffee or doing something where it's, like I said, non-adversarial, you just have those conversations, and they feel more at ease to ask those questions. No one's shouting anything. It's just we're talking. So I think that's been beneficial to have that kind of interaction with people and be able to have those conversations.
Always having that positive interaction, going into an event and knowing that you don't have to be in a response role or in an enforcement role. It's just a positive, interaction with people in our community is a good balance.
We're here to help solve problems, and sometimes that's an arrest, sometimes it's not. And people, I think, have this misconception that we're just there to lower the hammer and do those kinds of things. And that's not our role. Our role is, we're first and foremost peace officers. We had an event at one of our trailer parks, and a girl came up. She was just, talking with me, her and her dad, and she's like, "Oh, I did Heroes and Helpers, our Shop with a Cop event years ago with Officer Justin, who was a CSO at the time." We were able to connect those two later, who's now an officer here, Officer Justin, and this was probably 10 years later that they were able to connect again. So we got kind of like the before and after pictures. So that was fun.
It's always something you walk away with knowing that you made an impact, knowing that you created something positive for someone that may have had a negative interaction with officers before, and you can be the change to make that better. And so every little piece, every little interaction or every little conversation that officers have with residents, I think, is only making things better.
I think for officers specifically, it's good to get out and just see people in a different light and have them see you in a different light. You build these connections, and it just builds stock in what we're doing out there, that we're not this hard-charging, lower the boom type of profession, but we want to help people. We want to engage with them.
I think Blaine is a great place to be and work, and we enjoy really great relationships already as a foundation with our community members. And I think the more time and effort and energy that our community outreach team puts into those relationships, it's only going to get better. So I'm really excited.
Night to Unite being a good program that's put out in the community for everybody to kind of get out there, meet their neighbors, get together, discuss things with each other, as well as just kind of enjoy an evening of getting to know our community. The big thing that I find that I at least enjoy out of this is that we start to incorporate different things like police department, public works, as well as the fire department and our city officials that come out, because obviously we're part of this community too, so it's a great time under little stress for us to come out there and have conversations. It's very relaxed. Officers can come out, have conversations with the residents. It may not even be things specific to crimes, but maybe just giving advice. The other big thing is, it's not always about talking about what the police can do for you or what the fire department can do for you. It becomes more of just a community discussion. That being said, it's also a heck of a lot of fun to get out there, spend some time with the community members, spend some time with the kids, show off our equipment, and let them know what exactly we use to serve them. And one of the big things that I've found is it's really nice to be able to get out of the squad car and actually go and engage with the community. A lot of the officers really enjoy it. They do it year after year for the engagement of getting out there, meeting these people, meeting up with the kids. I know that when I was a kid and when I was involved in going and seeing the police cars, I absolutely loved that. And it's really kind of rewarding and a good reminder of why we do what we do. Seeing all the smiles on the faces of the kids, letting them have their swag from the Blaine PD, all that good stuff. And it gives a good sense of fulfillment for the officers that work so hard to serve all the citizens.
So the Citizens Academy in the City of Blaine is an 8-week program designed for both citizens of Blaine and employees of Blaine to come and join our 8-week program. We have firefighters and we also have law enforcement officers that come in, do classroom work in regards to what our jobs are, firefighting and law enforcement, and then we do some hands-on activities. We fight fires, we climb ladders, we do use of force, we do traffic stops, we meet the canines, and it's a ton of fun. So it's 8 weeks packed with practical and classroom work. So my role as a police officer, I cover, along with a couple of my other partners, we cover the law enforcement end. So throughout the years of having Citizens Academy, we've had sworn law enforcement officers take on the role of teaching and implementing scenarios within the Citizens Academy. So me specifically, what I do as a law enforcement officer is I have other law enforcement officers within the City of Blaine come and teach, whether it's crime scene, whether it's traffic stops, whether it's use of force. So me, I'm essentially a planner. I plan things, and then I have all the other officers come in, and everybody has a specialty. Everybody has a thing that they do. They teach, usually they have a PowerPoint, and then we go and do practical exercises.
I joined Citizens Academy because I've always wanted to know what goes on behind the scenes. You see everything on TV and it all seems really clear-cut, and you get to see a lot of really dedicated, well-trained professionals keeping us safe. In this station, we're experiencing the self-contained breathing apparatus and doing a simulated search for a fire victim. It puts a face on the people who actually are putting their lives on the line for our safety. They're a real fun bunch of people, and so it's nice to know them on a personal level. And then I really have to stress the professionalism, that they have done a lot of work behind the scenes to be prepared for the things that you don't want to have happen.
I think that this is a really great opportunity because it gives us, the citizens, an opportunity to see what the police department and also the fire department does, and it's not something that is easy at all. The job they do is really difficult, so it really makes me appreciate them and the service they do for the community. Being in this program really allows you to meet them face to face and just realizing that they're humans just like us. It's just a job title they have. And I think it's really important for us to have this opportunity because we get to learn about them just beyond the badge or their job title. And I think as citizens, then when we get to see them in this other aspect, not in uniform per se, we get to sort of appreciate the job they're doing and also kind of build that relationship that I think that the police are also, and the firemen are also trying to build with the community.
So it's essentially a program for kids, I believe they're in 3rd or 4th grade, or it's in the summer. So it's in between grades around that age group. Essentially, we get a bunch of firefighters, paramedics, police officers, and then park and rec staff, and everyone's basically disguised. So we look like regular people, and we go and we teach the kids a bunch of different safety items. So how to be safe with electricity, how to be safe in the water, bike safety, just how to be safe, as a kid. And they're that great age group where they can learn a lot from that. And then at the end, we eventually kind of get them all together after all that they learned, and everyone gets in uniforms and they realize, hey, these are the people that were teaching me. They're out there doing this all the time. And it's just a very fun thing to be a part of, either as a kid or as an officer doing it, and it's something that everyone looks forward to, I think.
I'm a real police officer, the one that you guys have been calling Shorty Gordy the whole time.
We had no idea Gordy was a police officer. And I actually thought they were just dressing up to kind of like show off or something. You're actually a police officer?
Yes.
It's one that's extremely fun because it's getting kids at a younger age interested in this. And I think it's very important to kind of give good examples to kids that age when they're young, and they can say, hey, like I can go to a police officer, a firefighter, a paramedic for help if I ever need it. Because then that just cultivates it later on. So like Safety Camp, I participated in it when I was in high school. And it's basically that kind of like high school age on to, adulthood. The nice thing with it is so many of our officers were once explorers, either in the Blaine Police Department or other. And so basically what we do, it's the same thing, just on a larger level. We teach the kids, different calls that we respond to. So, suspicious activity, medicals, burglaries, domestic crises. We also teach them like negotiating, search and arrest, so doing warrants. And they kind of get an inside look on what we do. They're also able to do ride-alongs with us, so that's another way for them to learn. And some of them aren't interested in law enforcement or pursuing a career in it, but they enjoy just learning and coming and being together with other kids their age. And then eventually they go and they participate at a state conference each year. So they go against other teams, and historically they've done extremely well for our department. And like I said, it's basically a gateway for them to become a CSO here, or eventually an officer. And I mean, I'd be interested to even see the numbers of how many of our officers have been explorers at one point. So a lot of them typically give back by becoming advisors for that.
We found out the post was free, and it was kind of exciting with all the volunteer work we do, so I was definitely drawn to it. I definitely love our advisors. We spend a lot of time with them, and they kind of become your friends, and then you have a lot of friends from the post that you spend so much time with, or some of your best friends. I've gone on to be hired as a community service officer for a different department, and so it's definitely helpful in landing a job and going through the job interview process, and then just working with people in general on the day-to-day basis of the job.
The Heroes and Helpers program, each year we partner with SPM Fire, we partner with Alina EMS and other agencies from Anoka County, police agencies. Between 60 and 70 of us will get together and we'll take that many kids out shopping during the holiday season, so early December. The officer will be assigned to one kid. They'll go in their squad car, they'll go in their fire truck or EMS, they'll go to the school, pick the kids up, take them shopping with a list that they have, do their shopping, wrap their gifts, and then transport them home.
I got some stuff, and the people in my house got some stuff, and I think that they like it a lot because I did spend like a very long time working on this list. So I'm very excited to give it to them and see how much they like it. But I think it's nice how they will come and just leave their jobs big. Okay, I'm gonna go help these kids out, and then I'll come back. So I thought that was really nice for them.
The smiles that you see these kids during this event, they're from less fortunate families or less fortunate events that happen in their life. If we can bring smiles to their face for 3, 4, 5 hours out of that day, and then just seeing the officers as well, like it's hard to see 60 officers smile and having a good time in one room at the same time, and that event is definitely cause for that.
It's a fundraiser for Special Olympics Minnesota, so people sign up and raise money with the end goal of jumping or running into the lake, as we're doing here today with the little bit different winter. The plunge looks a little bit different, but in the end, everyone's still raising money for Special Olympics and still getting the cold water.
I think one of the biggest things that it does is it helps to break down that barrier that people just see us in a uniform and that's all they ever see us. They get the opportunity to see us, we're in normal clothes, we're wearing wigs, we're doing fun stuff, and we're doing the same things that they're doing, and we're helping and giving money to a cause that we care about, that they care about also. One of the big aspects at Blaine PD that I enjoy so much is that we truly are part of our community. We're not just people who come in here and work here. We feel like we're a part of it. And this is one of the best ways. We're out here with other community members. We get to host this event in Blaine for the first time, which is huge. It's just a good opportunity to come out, to be with the citizens in our community and just have a good time.
We're over 1,050 people registered this year, which last year I think our final number was 570. So huge increase in participants, and right now we're on track to be over 250,000. So we're also $100,000 more raised this year than we raised last year. So it's been an incredible turnout all around for people and the fundraising for Special Olympics. So we have a partnership at Special Olympics that's called the Law Enforcement Torch Run. So it's a little confusing because it's more than just a torch run. It started as that, but it's now all events that we do with law enforcement. So it's a huge partnership where they're out here helping us run the event, and then they also, while they're running the event, also have teams and our participants also plunging in it. So it really just, we couldn't do what we do without them. The torch run is over $4 million. Actually, this year it'll be over $5 million that they raised with that. So really couldn't do what we do without that partnership and their help.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this, first of all. My name is Brian Padani. I am the chief here in Blaine, and very fortunate to be your chief. And at the Blaine Police Department, we have a mission statement. And part of that mission statement starts as proud members of our community. We firmly believe that we are members of this community here, and we are part of the community. And we are not two separate entities. We're all in this together. And the people that work here are passionate about serving our community and being a part of it. And that goes beyond just responding to calls or making traffic stops or investigating cases or doing all the things that a police department does. We take ownership of everything that happens here, and we take ownership of you. We want to protect you as our citizens, but we also want to serve you and we want to partner with you. The community outreach is intertwined really into the fabric of who we are as a department. We have multiple staff members that are dedicated to community outreach. We have a community outreach of an officer that's dedicated to that, and then we have one professional staff member that's dedicated to community outreach as well. But that's not it. It doesn't end there. Every person who works for the City of Blaine Police Department participates in outreach in some form or fashion or another. It's as much a part of our jobs as going out and writing tickets or investigating cases. And responding to calls. Outreach is part of what we do. It gives us an opportunity to interact with other members of our community in a positive sense, because many times people are calling us at their darkest or worst hour. And we're there to help in those situations, but we also want to be there for the good times as well. And those good times are really what helps keep us going in a job that can be very difficult at times. So I ask you to also get involved with our department and supporting our department, but being a part of a lot of our community outreach activities. There's tons of those that happen throughout the year, and there's a lot of different opportunities for community involvement as well. But in a daily sense, if you're out there in your travels, maybe you're at a gas station or somewhere else, if you see a cop just driving down the road, take a minute to wave to them. If you see someone, like I said, in a gas station or somewhere, just saying thank you for what you do goes a long way and really helps keep us motivated to know that we're appreciated, because this is a difficult job. And you got to remember, the people that work here, they're willing to lay their lives down for this community and for you. And that cannot be understated enough. And so a simple thank you for what you do goes a long way with us. And being respectful if you're driving too fast and you get stopped, or if you call upon an officer for help, you don't know what they just dealt with. They could have dealt with a horrible tragedy, and I hope that they are always treating members of our community respectful. That's part of our mission. But just taking the time to be patient with our officers and our staff as well, and thanking them for what they do goes a long ways. But it also keeps our staff motivated to be involved with outreach activities here, because it really is a part of our daily duties. It's not just about whatever event we're doing or whatever we're doing to try to enhance and enrich the lives of other people. It's also about what we do every day. Being kind to people out there and serving them and being proactive in what we do to try to make those connections. It's a mindset here at the Blaine Police Department for our staff members. And that positive mindset helps us enjoy our jobs and makes us do our jobs better too. But when we feel that's reciprocal with other people out there, that helps make, and it's one of the things that really makes the community of Blaine great. And even though we're a pretty big city, we still have that small town feel, and we want to preserve that. So as you go forward, I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Blaine's an exciting city. We're a growth city, but we want to keep outreach alive in the city, and it really needs to be a part of what we do as public safety, and we want that to be a part of what you do, whether it's as a resident or a business member or as a visitor to Blaine. It is really what makes Blaine great. So thank you for taking the time to watch this, and take care.